them in place. They keep us in chains. By show of hands, who else is sick and tired of the same? 1% trying to keep us small, trying to keep us from getting out. Minimizing the struggles they've caused, saying we're not working hard enough.
We really should stop this fighting. Otherwise we'll miss the fireworks.
There won't be any fireworks.
And here we go. And welcome everybody. Kings, Prince of all that is awesome, Derek. How the fuck is everybody tonight? A little bit of a technical issue there to start the show off with, but that's fine. I hope y'all are enjoying your Thursday, your Friday Eve, your whatever you want to call it, because it's a fun fucking day here on the show. So that's all that matters to me. This week has kicked a lot of ass. You know, we've had the Messenger Birds on, we've had Lonely Youth on. Who else did we have on? You know what? All the bands that we've had on here have just been fantastic. But you know what? We're continuing that tonight. Because tonight, I have another band on with me. A punk band that goes by the name of Old Cross. And I'm joined by two of their members, Chris and Cassidy. So please welcome to the show, Chris and Cassidy of Old Cross. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, what up? How's it going?
Yeah, it's been it's been better, but it's not terrible. It could be worse.
Exactly. I feel the same.
Yeah, I mean, day by day, right?
Hell yeah. Right. Cheers, man. You're sipping on something back there.
I am sipping on something out of Maryland from Victory Brewery called Hop Devil.
Beautiful.
It is hoppy as it's like a triple IPA. It's hoppy as it's hoppy as fuck, but it's pretty damn delicious. The only complaint that I have with this is that it's only one note. Like, it's not a triple with, citrus forward or anything else like that. It's just a flavorful triple IPA.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not the best, but it's not bad either.
Hell yeah. We got wholesale out of Hood River, Oregon. It's a hazy IPA. Coming in at, it's pretty sweet, 6% alcohol by volume. It's pretty good.
What am I sitting at? This is 6.5%, yeah. See, now, you just talked my language right there with the hazy IPA.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. A hazy citrus IPA, man, that is my go-to.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Some grapefruit or orange or maybe some pineapple, maybe some mango involved with it.
Yeah, all that tropical.
Oh, it just works so well with the pine tree notes of the IPA.
Yeah, once everybody started doing them on the West Coast and got really good at it, I can't stop. I'm totally on board.
I'm originally from Florida. Well, not originally. I'm originally from Ohio, but I lived in Florida the majority of my life and then moved here just outside of D.C. about 5 years ago. And down there, everything's so corporate, everything's so commercial. And even when the brewery, the microbrew and everything else like that started to pick up pace, like we got like Cigar City down there, which is a bigger microbrewery, but yeah, but that's about it. And because that's Tampa based, but there's really nothing else. And then I got up here, and on every fucking street corner in Northern Virginia is a fucking brewery. I mean, it's like 7-Eleven up here. And, I had to get creative. I had to get curious. And what I thought was good beer, I found out was piss water. and I have been addicted to nothing but, locally made, good brews for 5 years, with the exception of Sam Adams Oktoberfest, because that's like an American classic.
Oh, absolutely. I feel exactly the same. We were just talking about that. It's like, I'm not even going to fuck with other Oktoberfests. I mean, I will if it's handed to me, but if I'm going to go out and buy it, I don't know. It's kind of, that's where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, no, if a local brewery makes one, I'll drink it. But, like, the go-to has got to be Sam Adams. I mean, that's just, that's an American, that's like American as apple pie is Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, we were just talking a couple days ago. It's funny how we all got into to like craft beer. We thought we would go to a restaurant and order like a shock top back in the day, and we'd be like, yeah, like this is it. Like this is living with beer. And that was before we figured out like that wasn't living.
No.
Yeah, we've been in Portland for so long now that every time we go outside, like when we're on the road, and we're not, we're so spoiled here by how frequent you can go to any microbrewery, any brew pub, and just get something really awesome. And we leave our city and our state, and it's just like, oh man, I forgot we're really spoiled here.
Yeah, the major distributor out here is the Budweiser distributor. I mean, the Anheuser-Busch, and unfortunately, Bud doesn't do a lot of local brews, or at least in this area. They don't have the contracts for distribution on local. I mean, they have one, maybe two or three, but only one that's really, really good. And it's a beer called I can't even remember the name of the brewery now because it's one of my favorites. Devil's Backbone. Thank you. Devil's Backbone Brewery. It's in Charlottesville, South, just south of me, in Charlottesville, Virginia, and it's fantastic. But like, if you go to the major, the Capital One Arena, which does basketball and hockey, and then we got the Jiffy Lube Live, which is our major concert venue. It's all sponsored by Budweiser. So the only local brew that they carry, I mean, they have their shock top and they have this and they have that, but it's just Devil's Backbone. And since we're all so fucking picky in the Northern Virginia area, that's the thing that sells first. So if you're not there getting at least two or three in your hand, you don't get it the rest of the night. And you're either forced to choose between Bud and Bud Light or fucking nothing. And I would drink water before I drink Bud Light.
Yeah. Yeah, it's man, I think back to like the high school days playing beer pong and parties like that, where how much shit beer we would drink and our bodies were just like, it's fine, because we were like fucking 17, like, dude, I would die if I drank like fucking 30 Keystone Lights right now.
Exactly.
Oh my God. We used to pick up like 40 ounce, like Old English and oh my God, some of the other ones were just horrible. Looking back on it now, I was like, how the fuck did we drink that shit?
Seriously. And we were all just like, yeah, it's fine. Like, why wouldn't we buy that? It's fucking $1.69 for a 32 ounce or something,
Yeah. 100%. Oh my God, it's so bad. So bad. So, I'm glad we bonded over beer, because that's always a fun conversation to have. So, what's been going on with you guys? I know you guys have got a new album coming out here next week?
Tomorrow.
Is it tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay, I thought it said the 18th. Maybe I'm just dyslexic. So tomorrow, you're driving. So
might be me too.
Yeah, I could have. Honestly, I thought it said the 18th. So let me just double check your press release real quick. Maybe like I said, maybe I'm wrong, or maybe Mike's wrong. We can just blame Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Mike's so rad. I can like, if you like totally fucked something up so bad, I would still just be like, it's fine. That dude is.
He's on it, man.
Dude, he's epic. Every single guest that I've had for the last 3 weeks has come from him, so I can't complain.
That's cool, man. That's
He's been emailing me for months, and I finally was like, you know what, let's just do it. And I said, I'm not going away from you until you give me every single one of your clients. And he's like, all right, let's do it.
That's great.
And it was the 13th. I just can't read. So it's dropping tomorrow, and you've already released a single, Vertebrae. What was the reaction for Vertebrae?
It was cool, man. We because lately, I guess the last like 3 or 4 years that him and I have been playing in bands together, it's been more to like the pop punk side of the realm, a little more melodic and just clean cut, I guess. And we kind of went gritty and a little melodic hardcore-ish with this song, with the record, honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
And people were like, "Oh shit, this is a lot harder than your normal thing." And I was like, "Really?" I didn't think it was that much harder, but that's been the reaction. I'll take it.
I love it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I haven't heard much of your old stuff, but I have listened to this, and I love the hardness of it because I'm a hardcore guy. I love hardcore, metalcore, all the different cores. I mean, man, if I sat here and told you if we would recite every single subgenre of metal or rock,
Sure.
it would take until like midnight.
Yeah.
Midnight your time, not my time. But I love it all. And when it comes to like the pop punk stuff, I've been jaded for a long time because back in the day, and I hate saying that, but back in the day with your Good Charlottes and the Fall Out Boys, even though Fall Out Boy changed and got a lot better over the years, but like, and then the original Newfound Glory, and then they kind of got better as well. I just got really jaded by that kind of stuff, and some of it was fun to listen to, but it's just like it was overplayed, it was pushed, and then it became the rock version of boy bands. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%. I agree. Even if you enjoyed it and you loved it, I feel like you got jaded after a while, exactly like what you're saying, because you're like, all right, well, my friend's over you. The first time you hear it, you're like, dang, that riff's cool, and whatever, Newfound's cool. And then you hear it 250,000 times in 1 year, and you're like, man, I think I need to move on.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you look at them, I mean, the only one that's had longevity, and even then they broke up and they're just now getting back together, is Mike Hem. So, I mean, obviously that went the way of the dodo, but now it's starting to make a comeback, which is good. And there's a couple, the pop punk bands that are on your PR label, such as Boy Blue, which I talked to last week, which is a phenomenal. I mean, I listened to them and like they just blew all that early 2000s, early 2010s, punk shit out the window, and they're just doing their own thing and they're fantastic. And then when I first read the press release about you guys, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it another chance. But then I listened to it and I was like, this is not what I expected at all, and I was just fucking rocking out hard.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah.
We have trouble describing, because we don't want to be like we're a pop punk band, or even like a melodic punk band. Kind of puts us in a different genre too. Kind of what you were saying. With all the subgenres, we're like just listen to it, and if you like it, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. It's tough.
Yeah, I feel, the whole subgenre bullshit of metal and rock in general has kind of created a separation and a divide between the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Last week, I was talking to the lead singer of the band September Morning, and Emily and I were talking about this exact same subject. And she's like, if you go to a rap concert, Big Billy, I'm just making up names at this point. If Big Billy is the lead, the headliner, he is going to bring Little Joe up on stage and let Little Joe, even though nobody knows who Little Joe is, play for an hour. And he's going to make sure Little Joe blows up. He's going to give him all the freaking heat. Let him take it. And then he's going to go on and do his thing. that doesn't really happen in rock. You know, it sets up, we're going to have 3 or 4 bands, be the direct support and their opening acts, but usually that's arranged by the label. It's usually not arranged by the other bands. They'll say, yeah, I would like to play with them, but here's a list of 5 other bands I would like to play with. See who's available and see who's willing to work with us. It's not forced. It's not, I really support this band. Let's get them out there. And even then, if you're going to the show, say for instance, a Falling in Reverse show, it's going to be all mostly females and some, emo kids. But if like that last year, it was weird. So it was Ice Nine Kills as direct support to Falling in Reverse. It was a great concert, don't get me wrong. But you could tell the difference. You could see the guys that were there just for Ice Nine Kills. And as soon as they were done, they did not stick around for Falling in Reverse. And people specifically waited outside or waited in the atrium outside until Ice Nine Kills got off just so they could come in and watch just Falling in Reverse.
Yeah, that's tough. I hate that mentality,
I do. So do I. Or like 4 years ago when Volbeat was at Coachella, very few rock people bought tickets to go to Coachella because they were like, this is the only band on the whole thing. Now, why am I going to buy tickets to all of Coachella just for Volbeat?
Yeah.
So Volbeat had a very little crowd, and as soon as they left the stage, EDM was back on the stage, but holy shit, it was packed.
Yeah.
It just sucks because it makes people's arguments for people saying rock is dead in America, it makes it seem more and more valid every time they say it.
Totally. Yeah, it fuels the fire for sure. I think it was Social Distortion played in like 2014 or 2015. And it was weird because you kind of like, there's like really good live footage of it, like on YouTube and stuff. And there's people like looking at each other like, what's happening right now? Is this a band playing? Like, why? And there's like four or 5 rows of people that are like really into it. And then you can tell people are just like, what just happened? Why is there a rock band up there? And that's kind of a bummer because, like you said, if there was more rock bands on the bill to kind of separate, and I think it would just push more tickets for them too, in a different genre too. I don't know. Yeah,
and especially if you go to YouTube and you watch, videos from, Download or Rock am Ring from Germany.
Yeah.
It's packed all day long, all 3 days. And, these American bands are showing up in Germany, and all these Germans are singing back their songs in American. Right. Rock is not dead. It's just dead here in America. So, what do you think on, your idea, what it's going to take as a culture of metalheads, rockheads, punkheads, all these people that are divided because rock is better than pop or punk. In metal we use 2 kicks. Yeah, well, I can go just as fast with 1 kick that you can on double kick. I've heard that debate so many times. So it's like, what do you think it's going to take from the band's perspective? Because I don't see too many bands sitting there saying, don't fucking leave the stage when I leave. Stay on. I mean, they'll be like, yes, thank you very much, for the bands before us, but they're not like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard from a band perspective because, like, at least as far as Portland goes, we're pretty close with a lot of the bands we play with consistently. We're friends, So it's kind of up to the fans and the people who want to come to shows to kind of not wait outside, and it's kind of up to the people because I feel like as far as our little scene goes, we're all kind of homies, so we always try to build each other up, and we're always sharing everybody's shit online, and it is a pretty good solid community as far as bands goes. So it's just kind of getting people back,
everyone
wanting to interact,
everybody doing that.
Yeah,
instead of just
the people who are in the bands oh, here's my friend shit. Like, it's the people who are interested in, punk rock and rock as a whole, metal, whatever. It's just remembering that it's fun as fuck, like be there for it and experience it rather than, well, my friends are here, so my friends are done, so I'm gonna go. I got work tomorrow. Like shit like that.
Yeah. And then that'll probably, I assume, shift the market where all the money's at, and they'll be like, oh shit, people are paying attention to this again in the US, which everyone always has, just kind of like you're saying. It's on a weird level. People don't really talk about it, but the shows, at least in Poland, are great. And I feel like in the city all around they are. So yeah, maybe we just need to show the big time money maker corporations that it's worth their time, like it is in Europe. It could be like that.
I definitely think it can.
Yeah.
But I'm guilty of it too, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago, actually almost exactly 2 years ago, I went to see Ice Nine Kills, and they were opening up for Atreyu. And I personally can't stand Atreyu. So I paid my $25 for me and my wife, and we paid $50. We went to the show, we watched Ice Nine, and then we left. It's shitty, and I'll admit it. But I don't see why Atreyu was ever headlining a show with the bands that were before them, because it was also what was it? Miss May? Was it? Oh shit. Miss May I think it was, or who was that? But it was all like, the harder rock bands that were opening up for him. And I was like, that just doesn't make... Memphis May Fire, that's who it was. So it was Memphis May Fire and Ice Nine Kills opening up for Atreyu. And I just didn't think it fit very well. And you could tell the people in the crowd just did not think it fit very well. But the other shows I saw last year were fantastic. I mean, it was the Ice Nine with Falling in Reverse show was A Day to Remember. No, I'm sorry, not A Day to Remember. New Year's Day, and somebody else, but that one fit. Or Bad Flower with Of Mice and Men and Nothing More. That's a pretty good show too. So those types of shows fit. But that Memphis May Fire and Atreyu, that was just it was blasphemous in my opinion.
For sure.
I think a lot of that will kind of change also. We'll see if the next generation of kids even gets into harder music. Like, that was harder, like punk rock, especially with, we always go back to it, but Tony Hawk Pro Skater put punk rock music into the hands of a bunch of kids, and it was like in our face back then. So that's the type of music we latched onto. So, and we were excited to go to the shows and find out about all the new bands, and we'll see if the next up and coming generations get into, oh shit, who are all the bands that were doing this before the bands that I like now? Like, see if they get that kind of same spark to want to go discover new bands. And I think that'll, create that energy that we're all used to from, back in our heyday, going to shows, and you would be there an hour before, an hour after, talking to people and shit, just having a good time.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see with the younger generation for sure.
Yeah, and also I think the Vans Warped Tour being dead now, or I mean, it's not dead. It's not a tour. It's just a one-day festival now. But it's just in New Jersey now. Kind of killed the whole eclectic type of rock day. Yeah, I mean, some of the other shows, like what used to be Rock on the Range, now Sonic Temple Fest, or Rocklahoma, or Detroit Open Air, or Houston Open Air, stuff like that. Does have an eclectic mix of music, but it's not going to be ever as eclectic as what Vans Warped Tour. I mean, you're never going to go to, Sonic Temple and have the bands like Red Jumpsuit Apparatus playing, and then immediately following that is Black Veil Brides. You're not going to ever get that there. You know what I'm saying?
And everyone just being like, oh yeah, that makes sense because this is what we signed up for. This is what we're going to see. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, at Sonic Temple, you're going to get an eclectic mix, but it's going to be an eclectic mix of hardcore, maybe some metalcore, definitely some this and that, and then a bunch of major acts. Vans Warped Tour prided itself on the smaller acts to give them a platform, to where they could tour nationally and have, the powerhouse bands behind them. And it just sucks that that's not going to be around anymore. But I mean, I got to give it up to, Danny Wimmer Presents with, the different stuff that they put together. But at the same time, it's never going to be on the same level as, Vans. Because, with all the ones that they do, Rocklahoma, Rock on the Range, Sonic Temple and stuff like that, not even the same bands are at every single show. Sometimes they'll have the same headliners, but it varies from show to show, and that even sucks too, because if Sonic Temple gets introduced first, which hasn't even been called for this year or next year, you can kind of say, oh well, maybe the same thing will be at Rocklahoma or Carolina Rebellion or whatever that one is in Jacksonville every year. I can't remember, and it's not, and it sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't get that consistency like you used to. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you definitely don't.
The bigger bands being able to back up the smaller bands coming up, and it gives kids a reason to see those smaller bands that are just as good as the headlining bands. Yeah, like Warped Tour really brought that to effect.
Yeah, and especially now with terrestrial radio, because I mean they still put on rock stations or even rap stations or whatever the case might be, will put concerts on every year. They'll usually do their annual festival, but I bet you if you go through every single one of their festivals, and then listen to them on iHeartRadio or whatever the case might be, listen to their channel, 10% of the bands that are on that card, are the ones that they play. The other 90% are bands that they've never played on that station ever.
Yeah.
So then these concert goers are going, who the fuck is this? Why they're playing at the beginning. Okay, well, I'm not showing up until 3 or 4 o'clock. Fuck them. Never even heard of these people. And again, it hurts the fucking industry. And it's, the only good damn rock station is Sirius XM Octane. I mean, and Liquid Metal, but, at least they fucking support local indie bands.
Oh, totally. Yeah, we have some friends that were on that. It was Octane, right? I think it was Octane. And that was great for them. And it's still going strong, I think, right? I haven't been on Sirius in a while, but Octane.
Yeah, I mean the program director Jose Mangan is a metal god, but he supports. I mean, if he likes it, he goes, I don't care if you have an A&R rep, I don't care if you're locally, I don't care what you are. If I like it, you're coming on the radio. Like last year, they were hooked on a band called Saul. And they had a good song called Brother. And they blasted that band and got them signed, got them on a national tour. I mean, just blew them up. And they've done that a couple times. I mean, From Ashes to New, they did that too, years ago. I don't know if you know the story, but From Ashes to New actually started off as just the guy who raps in the group. He started it all. He did the entire first album by himself, kind of like a Dave Grohl Foo Fighters thing, and then brought in artists after the fact once he started to blow up, because he couldn't do that on stage by himself, obviously. So, but Sirius XM, got From Ashes to New to blow up, and now they have a full band and they're doing all their things. So, I mean, they've done some great things for the industry.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it's so huge, and it's awesome that they can just do that. They're like, yeah, we like this band. We're gonna blast them everywhere. That's so cool.
Hell yeah. And then they also go to every single festival during World's Loudest Month in May. And they interview literally every band, again, to give them more exposure and talk to them and this and that. Might just be 5 minutes, but still, but then on top of that, most of the time, they have a contract with Daniel Wimmer Presents to where they can fucking play the damn concert live on the radio, so you don't have to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
It's my hat's off to Octane and Liquid Metal, specifically, Jose Mangan. That guy is just an amazing gentleman who's done a lot for the rock community. So, it's few and far between that you find guys like that anymore.
It's true. Yeah. Out here we have a few people. The late Mike Thrasher was a promoter out here that really helped people out. He passed away about a year ago. I think Take Warning, Ian, I believe. If I didn't get that wrong, but Ian at Take Warning, he does some really cool shit for local bands, just as far as like he fights for the smaller bands to get on bigger shows, even when there's not really a slot for an opening band. They're always really good about being like, hey, check this out. You might get 30 more kids that are gonna buy some merch or whatever, the venue's looking for. But
yeah, again, and those types of people are few and far between, and I think the community needs more of it because, the community now is so much different than it was 10, 15 years ago. You've got, bands that are pushing real social issues, like Falling in Reverse and Bad Flower and Nothing More, who are big on pushing mental health and mental health recovery and addiction and stuff like that. That didn't happen 15, 20 years ago. They were afraid. But, Ronnie is all about, I've got fucking massive PTSD from being in prison. I suffer from, night terrors and this and that. I have bipolar disorder. I'm going to talk about it. Fucking Nothing More, however long ago it was, 2013 when they came out with Jenny. My sister almost died from being a drug overdose, but, and my mom died while she was having her drug overdose, and it was the most terrible thing in my life. Or Bad Flower, I almost committed suicide 3 times. Let me sing a song about that. That's unheard of. And it just, if people knew outside of the rock world what we were trying to accomplish, I think people would be blown away.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And I think, I don't know, it's weird. A lot of people can relate to that, and I feel like a lot of people are looking for that, out of music. Obviously, I know I am. From a writer's perspective and from a listening perspective, of course.
Yeah, especially me too. I feel you on that because I'm somebody who does suffer from bipolar disorder and PTSD and severe anxiety, and I've had 2 suicide attempts. So I can relate, to Ronnie Radke, even though I think he's a complete dickhead. I can at least relate to the guy. But at the same time, I know he's a musical genius, and the problem is that he knows he's a musical genius. But I can relate to him. Or, Josh and Bad Flower. I can relate to that guy, hands down. Or the same thing with Johnny Hawkins in, Nothing More. I can relate to that guy, and it just brings it closer to home. Way back, was it back in July or August? There was a new movie starring Shia LaBeouf that came out. It was called The Tax Collector. And his co-star was named Cheyenne Hernandez, and I had her on the show. And her and I were just having a great conversation, promoting the movie. I made a few jokes about, Shia LaBeouf, being Shia LaBeouf. And she defended him right away because, she's like, that's just his persona outside of the industry just to build a name for himself. He's not really like that, which I didn't know, but whatever. But then as we got more and more into the conversation, we started getting on the subject of mental health. and she was talking about how both of her brothers recently had died in a drunk driving accident. They were sideswiped and they both passed away. And up until that point, she had never talked about it on an interview. Because every other interviewer was all about, oh, well, this is your first acting gig. What was it like to work with such big stars like George Lopez and Shia LaBeouf and da-da-da? They just wanted to talk about the movie. Nobody wanted to talk about her.
The typical questions.
Exactly. The thing that I don't touch. I don't touch it. When anybody sends me anything, I will read the first paragraph just to find out who they are. I will listen to one song or maybe watch the movie. And that's it. I don't go to Wikipedia. I don't look at other interviews. I don't look at anything. Because if I want the stuff that I want to know is going to come out of your mouth hole while I'm talking to you.
Totally. Dude, that's awesome.
So when we got to talking, I was able to get that out of her. And the poor girl started bawling on my show for a good half an hour. Well, we just talked about her brothers and how much, the movie was dedicated to them, and she's doing this for them because, she spent like 10 years in the military, got an honorable discharge or medical discharge, and they pushed her to be an actress because they always believed in her, blah, blah, blah. And she just went off. And at the end of that interview, I was like, holy shit, did that just happen?
Yeah.
And it was just phenomenal. And from that moment on, I was like, yeah, I'm doing it the right way. Before that, I was like, am I going to get myself in trouble? Because, I never heard anybody talk to, celebrities like this before. But then at that point, I was like, if you're going to get pissed off at me and hang up on me, it is what it is. But I'm going to get the answers I want.
Yeah. And no one else is going to get that interview or have that, initial, her first reaction to that, We're talking to somebody and letting people into her personal life that much. No, the big timers and people who do that shit, they're going to ask the basic questions, not even ask who you are.
And script.
Exactly.
And letting people know, letting everyday people that are watching your show, like, check this out. They're going through the same shit you are, and it's nice to see that. It's nice to see that relationship sometimes between, because we're all just here. We're just doing random shit.
And you just said the exact reason why the name of the show is "Suck It." So it's a mental health thing, to where, for the longest time, and I've said this 1,000 times, so my listeners are like, yeah, Derek, we know. But for the longest time, men, even some women, when they were younger and even in their 20s, were, I'm depressed, I have this or whatever. Oh, just suck it up, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Well, my response to them is, suck it.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what I'm going through. Don't ever tell me to suck it up. So that's where the name of the show comes from. So the whole idea of the show is, we're going to talk entertainment. We're going to talk music. We're going to talk acting. We're going to crack jokes, maybe be offensive as hell, and the whole 9 yards. We're going to get to know each other on a personal level like nothing else. But at the same time, I want people to come here and let them know that, A, I have the same issues that they have. And you guys, not necessarily you personally, but you guys as celebrities or musicians or comedians or whoever, share those same problems. And that makes you more human to them, and they're going to feel more of a fan of yours at the end of the day. Right. So that's the whole idea behind my show.
That's amazing, man. That's kind of how I've gone. I guess we landed at the right spot, because especially this record, going back to, I feel like we also skipped over that whole question. We went in 3 different tangents, but this record is very much so about mental health, from my point of view, and just the world's point of view, not even before COVID and everything, like I've struggled with gnarly chronic anxiety, and both of us have been depressed on and off probably since we were young kids for multiple reasons. And Old Cross really is touches on that pretty much 100% of the time, I think. And it's important to talk about. It's not uncool to talk about, or like if you're not less manly. You know, if you're a dude talking about that. And I love that. I love that you're talking about that stuff.
And I love that you guys talk about it too, because it's something that needs to be talked about. It's something that needs to be addressed, and you know, the more people that talk about it, the easier the stigma will be to break.
Yeah, we have this. Chris wrote this song called "Catastrophe," and like the tagline of the hook of that song is "I'm this catastrophe's architect." Like that's one of my favorite lyrics out of this whole record, because it's like I'm the one who's like building this whole thing, and I'm gonna fucking tear it down, and I don't know why that's fucking happening. Like I don't know why I'm feeling like this, but like as the lyrics go, you're like working through, like it's kind of a shining a light on the dark topic of like I'm feeling away and I'm building this all up and I'm tearing it all down, but then it kind of like there's other positive elements of it. Like that's one of my favorite lyrics of this our whole new record. It's just all like it touches on exactly what we're talking about. It's like our personal struggles with, you know, anxiety and depression and shit, and how it feels totally out of control sometimes, and so that's a fun song.
Yeah.
Dude, that's badass, and I appreciate you sharing that with me. But on that note, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Awesome.
Guys, have you ever wondered how you can help support the channel and also look fucking cool in the process? Go to the link down below, www.dckproductions.com/shop, to get the awesomest merch on the market today. Whether you just want to get one of our plain logos in one of our many different colors, or if you want to get one of our cool graphic tees that just are funny as hell, the choice is yours. But definitely pick up your choice of any one of these shirts in any color, any size, any style that you choose at www.dckproductions.com/shop, or click the link in the bio. Thank you, guys. And tonight's episode is also brought to you by Manscaped, where right now you can go to manscaped.com and get yourself the Perfect Package 3.0. And you're saying to yourself, what the fuck is the Perfect Package 3.0? I'll tell you what the Perfect Package 3.0 is. Well, first of all, you get the Lawnmower 3.0. The Lawnmower 3.0 is designed for grooming of your nuts. Straight up. Go down there, manscape your shit, and while you're down there, check for testicular cancer. You know, check for lumps and other stuff like that. But you know what? The great thing about this is it will not nick your balls, will not cut your shaft. None of that shit that your other stuff do. You know, if you're sitting there at home and you're using the same razor on your face as you are on your junk, you're doing it wrong. So get this. And then also with the Perfect Package 3.0, you get the ball deodorant, which makes your balls just smell fucking great. And then on top of that, you get ball toner, which helps prevent chafing. Along with that, you also get these nice little newspapers, which are cleanup pads. Therefore, you don't have to do it always in the shower. But the cool thing about it is, if you're doing it in the shower, this thing is 100% waterproof. Aside from that, you also get this nice little carrying case, leather carrying case, which you can take anywhere with you. But also you get a pair of boxers, a nice nylon, non-chafing pair of boxers that don't roll down. I'm not going to show you mine because I wear them, so what the fuck am I going to show you my boxers for? That just wouldn't be right. But guys, do yourself a favor. Go to manscaped.com. Use promo code SUCKITPODCAST for 20% off. The Manscaped 3.0 package is $99.99. That gets everything that you just saw, including the boxer shorts. When you use that promo code, you get 20% off. Again, that's manscaped.com. Use promo code SUCKITPODCAST for 20% off. They also have a brand new called the Weed Whacker. The Weed Whacker is a nose hair trimmer. Again, waterproof. fantastic thing. You know, it's sensitive. It doesn't pull your nose hairs out. It doesn't do anything like that. As you're getting older, do you really want those fucking things hanging out of your nose and into your, you know, beard? No, because you want your beard to be your beard and your mustache to be your mustache and not just a whole fucking nose stash. We don't want that. You don't want that. So get yourself the best manscaping products on the market at Manscaped. Again, use promo code SuckItPodcast for 20% off and free shipping. Guys, trust me when I say your balls will thank you. And now, back to the show. Alright, what's up?
No. I might have to buy one of those motherfuckers.
Please do, because I need money.
that was great.
Yeah. I'm sold. That was great.
Yeah, please do. I would like my sponsorship to continue with them.
Right?
That's solid.
Yeah. Look.
I use it, might as well. And I've always found it funny that my two sponsors are Manscaped and then BetterHelp. So you get to take care of your mind with BetterHelp, and then take care of your balls with Manscaped. It's fantastic. It's the best of both worlds.
Just being real, those are two important things. You know?
Exactly. Mental health and ball care. I mean, exactly. But what I do like about the Manscaped thing is it encourages you to give yourself the monthly checks to check for testicular cancer and other stuff like that, especially now with it being, Men's Cancer Month. It doesn't matter if you're talking about prostate cancer or testicular cancer. It's an important subject to talk about too. So, yeah. So, and they also donate, I think, 10% of all profits to testicular cancer. So, it's also good. They also donate to a good cause too.
That's perfect.
Yeah. Dang. See, there's a lot of good shit out there. There's good people out there. You just gotta.
There really is.
Yeah.
I mean, not every charity is like Susan G. Komen, where they pay their fucking CEO $5 million a year, but only donate $100,000 to charities.
Right.
For real. Fuck. It's a strange world.
Yeah. Last month, I had such a problem, trying to, because every month I do a charity. So, and I usually put together a T-shirt on my website, and half the proceeds go to charity. But last month I was having a real problem with that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go with a fail-safe and do the American Cancer Society, because I did not want to do Susan G. Komen.
Mm-hmm.
And then like same thing when I was back in June, for Gay Pride Month. There's so many out there, but there's so many out there that are just bad, So what I did was there's a gay pride organization, but what it is, it's a mental health line. It's called the Trevor Project. So it's actually it's a national, suicide prevention hotline and mental health hotline for LGBTQ youth to call. Therefore, they have somebody on the other line that might have been in the exact same situation. So that was what I went with back then, was the Trevor Project. So I take, that's one of the things I love taking, doing every month, is taking pride in, an organization or, a charity that really does, good stuff for a good cause.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, enough, bragging about what I do, Let me throw some shade on other podcasters who don't give a fuck. So, you guys are releasing the album tomorrow.
Yes.
And you can't fucking tour.
I know.
No.
Yeah.
What is the plan?
Well, probably do some acoustic live streams, kind of try to maybe do it from my studio so it's a little more high quality, but there's not much else we can do right now. We are figuring out the live stream that's full band, but we want it to be legit. We don't want the levels to be all fucked up, and so we're probably a couple months out from doing a full band live stream still, and to where we have the space to where it feels comfortable. And yeah, hopefully tour maybe the end of 2021. I don't know.
That'd be fucking cool. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, I mean,
A couple more videos out, I would imagine, because we've been doing our videos ourselves, and it's been super fucking fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Just hopefully keep having fun doing interviews and shit like this would be cool.
yeah, well, the thing that sucks is, as of now at least, yeah, there's a few, national tours that have been announced. I think like Beyonce or Taylor Swift have announced some stuff for next year. But as far as festivals go, which are usually the lifeblood of the rock community, there's only been one announced, and that was, just got announced last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Aftershock.
Oh, Aftershock.
Aftershock got announced for Sacramento next year. Yeah, they ended up doing like a 4-day fest, and Metallica's headlining Friday and Sunday. They're doing a double headliner.
What?
Metallica's Bay Area, right? That's like their...
Yeah, they're Bay Area.
What
Yeah.
a month is that supposed to be?
It's supposed to be October, like 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, yeah. So, it's a year out.
That's seeming when I was like, all right, maybe, hopefully we can hit like right before winter sets in and do at least one next year. That'd be cool.
That hurts. It's like just getting winter now.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking year from now.
Yeah, but then at that point, it'll be almost 2 years before you guys have hit the stage.
Yep.
What the fuck is going to go through your mind at that point? I mean, it's...
I probably won't be able to stop smiling like a little child, like,
We're all gonna be so excited. Yeah, man, because we try to tour like at least 4 times a year normally. This year we already canceled 2 tours because we had them set up through spring. Next year maybe in January we'll start trying to book something in November or something.
I'm just fortunate.
Optimistic.
We're fortunate that we didn't quit our jobs this year and become full-time musicians like some of our other friends did.
Yeah.
That was very rough for some of our friends.
Yeah, because there's part of it that's like, you know what? Let's just be on the road, have odd jobs here and there if we need to. And we were maybe like a year out of maybe trying to do that. So who even knows if that's even a reality anytime in the future for us now.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, unfortunately, a lot of even some of the medium-sized bands are having to do that this year. I mean,
Totally.
they're doing stupid shit. I mean, they're not trying to, be in a, they're not at a restaurant like that and then, causing a disruption at restaurants, or they're being discreet about it. So, but unfortunately, it doesn't matter if you're a comedian, if you're a Broadway actor, a dancer, or anything else in between. That's what's had to happen this year. Mm-hmm. And it's a sad fact, but it's just the reality of it. I mean, even I had to, my last 5 months, 6 months of podcasting and, marketing have been really great, but I had to pick up a part-time job recently. Now, granted, it's at a brewery, so I can't complain.
It's cool, right?
Yeah. I mean, now it's a brewery, so hey, I'm rocking that out. But at the same time, it sucks. Because I miss live music. Last year I've already mentioned the shows I went to last year, but there was 8 or 9 others that I went to. I saw 10 different concerts last year. And I haven't done any this year, seen any this year. I'm also a stand-up comedian. I did about 20 different shows last year, and this year I've done 1. And, it's like, shit. What is going on? And, because the entertainment field, while it's not a essential business as the country likes to say other things are, but in reality it really is, because
got everyone through quarantine. That's
yeah, because buying tickets to go to a concert, does multiple things. Number one, the breweries that supply the beer get money. The Coca-Cola or Pepsi, whoever's signed to that arena, gets money. Then the bands, and then the people that work there, and then the groundskeepers. It's multiple things going on, but you know what? God damn it, the fucking churches are open.
Right?
Oh man,
They were the loudest complainers ever.
for real.
Yeah.
Before even anything shut down, they're like, let's think about us. We're like, oh fuck, all right. I
Well,
wasn't actually thinking about you.
On a Sunday morning, you can turn on Benny Hill and get the exact same experience by watching Benny Hill. I cannot, last month when I paid my $29 to watch fucking Corey Taylor at the Forum live, it was not the same experience as seeing Slipknot last year.
Right.
That's two totally different things. Not that I'm going to be watching Benny Hill on a Sunday morning, but you see my point.
Oh man.
It's just, or even like, local breweries that hold open mics. An acoustic guitar shows up, a really bad stand-up comedian shows up, but you know what? It brings in 30 or 40 extra people and then the serving staff, the bar staff gets some extra money, it's gotten to the point now to where, major musicians are having to do charity virtual concerts just to make sure that some of these places can stay open. Therefore, bands have somewhere to play, in the next coming years. My hat's off to Miley Cyrus, for what she did 2 weeks ago for Whiskey A Go-Go. I have a whole new level of respect for that bitch now. Holy shit! What she did with fucking, she did Heart of Glass, and she did, Cranberry Zombie.
Yeah, Zomie.
That girl can sing some fucking rock music.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god, I want to welcome her with open arms. Give her a fucking rock band. I would love to see what she could fucking do.
Oh, totally, man. Yeah, I think I watched a couple of interviews when she was doing like the Wrecking Ball shit, and I think she kind of just went pop because that is probably what people were directing her to do. But I think she probably wanted to be more in a band. It's probably country based, but like she's got rock like down. Like I think she could have done that. I think she should still do it.
Well, I read that her next album that she's coming out with is more rock based, full band. I think I heard it equated to more like a Joan Jett type album.
Sweet.
But then I also heard that she is working with James Hetfield and Lars Ulrich on doing a Metallica covers album.
Whoa.
Oh. Whoa. I didn't see that coming.
Me neither.
I'll
But
definitely listen to it once at least for sure. Yeah.
but if her next album is that Joan Jett vibe, and then she comes out with that Metallica cover, the rock community will be bowing to her.
Probably.
Yeah, and she'll nail it. I mean,
Oh, she will.
she would ever put anything out that sucked in terms of quality.
No. And there's very few artists that I think that could ever pull that off. Her definitely being one of them. Obviously Post Malone as well.
Yeah. That
Came
Nirvana,
out of nowhere.
that Nirvana cover set was fucking rad.
Oh my God. Because he used to be in metal bands in high school. And then last year when he did that collaboration with Ozzy,
Oh yeah.
that song was even getting played on Sirius XM Octane.
Yeah.
It was all over it. I was like, hell yeah. So I get a whole new respect for Posty at that point.
Same.
But, I would love to see him come out with a rock album. There's quite a few that I could see just pulling that shit off. But, definitely those two are at the top of my list of like, come on, bring it. Come to the dark side.
Yeah, why not? I think everything comes out in singles these days anyway on Spotify, so why not do a rock song? If management says it sucks and didn't do well, come back out with a pop song. You know, just feel it out.
Machine Gun Kelly did a full-on pop punk record that went like #1 on Billboard.
It did.
And it was his first Billboard #1, and it was a pop punk album.
First.
Yeah, and it was with Travis Barker.
Did you guys listen to that?
It's actually not bad.
It's not at all.
It sounds like Blink, dude. It's crazy.
It's very Blink-esque, yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Like, I don't know, his voice, he doesn't have much, like, range with it, so it kind of gets a little mundane after a while, but, like, the songs are well done.
Does Travis do his Travis things?
Oh, it sounds like a Blink record, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Travis does Travis does Travis things, yeah.
For sure.
100%.
I listen to the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, I guess, you know, I love talking to artists. You know, I've talked to rap artists, I've talked to R&B artists, I've talked to pop artists, country artists, all on the show. But lately, it's been a lot of rock, and I'm thankful for that. Huh?
That's good.
Yeah. Because, you know, I mean, when because it's allowed me to be more appreciative of of genres that I've been musically racist against, I guess you could say. You know, because you know, and I don't mean racist, I mean just musically racist. To where, like, oh, rap, I don't care what color you are, I'm not listening to rap, fuck that. I'm not listening to R&B, no, unless it's, you know, ringing in my ears, you know, my ears are bleeding and I can scream at the top of my lungs, you know, major fucking riffs, power chords, and double kick drums, I'm not listening to it. But over the last year, it's like, okay, there are good rap artists out there. There are good, you know, R&B artists. There are good pop artists. There are no good EDM artists.
I know, because I engineer a lot. One of my jobs is being an audio engineer, and through that experience, I will say, good EDM, the mixing is so incredible. That's what, but it's such a thin line. Like, I guess if you didn't know, it just all sounds the same. So back in the day, I was like, I don't fucking get it. But now I hear a kick drum from a sick artist and a kick drum from some dude that is just trying to be popular, and I'm like, yeah, I get it, but it's still a real genre. Yeah,
I mean, but unless you're like Daft Punk or Skrillex, you know, it's hard to, you know, for me to enjoy that in any which way, shape, or form. And the only reason I have any respect for Skrillex is because of the album he did with Korn.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was a badass record. A lot of people shit on Korn for that, but it was a badass fucking record.
Yeah, that sounded amazing.
It was sick. Yeah. But I mean, you know, and the only reason I shit on EDM, because I had an EDM guy on a while back, and if my buddy is still watching, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not going to call him out by name, but this guy thought he was God's gift to music, and this motherfucker was just dog shit on the face of a record player. I mean, I don't even know, but I can't even put together a good analogy for how crappy this guy was. And he had the nerve to call me out and blah blah blah. So I took his episode down. But yeah, fuck that guy. But no, like I said, in all reality, it's allowed me to open my eyes and ears to the good music out there, and then appreciate rock and metal even more, because now I can start hearing some of the influences of, you know, maybe a little bit of rap here, a little bit of R&B here, maybe a little bit of jazz here. And now it's like, oh, okay, now I get where they're coming from. Because, you know, if you ever watch a documentary on Korn, you know, when they're riding in the limo, all they do is listen to rap. Yeah. You know, when you watch a documentary on Bring Me the Horizon, they're huge British pop fans. You know, so that's where a lot of their influences come from. So it's like, I can now appreciate their music more because they appreciate more than just what they listen to. And that makes me feel more accomplished because now it's like, okay, now I get it.
Yeah, definitely. Lately, all I've been listening to, not all I've been listening to, but Ryan Bingham, he's I wouldn't say underground in all opinions, but he's kind of an outlaw country style Americana that goes under the radar in Nashville.
Even though he's won Grammys.
Yeah. And that's fucking country. The singer-songwriting ability from that person, though, is just amazing. And
Yeah.
So, yeah, I haven't listened to skate punk in fucking a couple months, to be honest with you. Except for my daily mix on Spotify. It's Bad Religion.
Oh, you can't not listen to Bad Religion.
All my smart phone situation is always Bad Religion. Or Misfits. It's weird.
Yeah, my depression music is nothing more. But my guilty pleasure as far as outside of rock is Ed Sheeran.
Oh, cool. Oh man, he's a great songwriter.
Oh my God! There's only one song I do not like by him, and because it wasn't written about him, it wasn't written by him. Is "The Shape of You," because that was supposed to be a Rihanna song, and Rihanna rejected it, and he took it. But other than that, everything that he's done, I'm a huge Ed Sheeran fan, and I love it when he just randomly shows up as cameos in these oddball movies or TV shows or whatever else the case might be. The dude's just hilarious, but he's a fantastic singer-songwriter, and so he's my guilty pleasure.
Yeah, he goes to all those giant festivals, and it's just him and his little small-scale acoustic guitar, and he's fucking wowing 20,000 people. That shit's amazing.
Just through songwriting.
That shit's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just great. So who are some of you guys' influences?
Definitely one of our biggest influences I know between him and I is AFI for sure. That's something we bonded over immediately when we met, damn near 15 years ago.
55 years ago.
But definitely AFI. Shai Hulud is a hardcore band that we both love. Super technical, progressive.
Mm-hmm.
Propagandhi, definitely. I'm not saying we're anywhere near as good as any of these bands we're talking about. However, and then, Blink-182 is a huge influence. That was a big one early on in middle school. The Offspring, it's a huge one. Bad Religion, as we mentioned before. Those are kind of the obvious ones. Alkaline Trio, and then I don't know. I listened to fucking pop country for a while. That was weird. Taylor Swift is on my iPod. I don't know.
Oh, wow. I mean, who doesn't love themselves some Taylor Swift?
Right?
I don't.
That's okay. I think it took me a while because, like you mentioned, it was probably 2010. You were listening to a lot of pop country, and I was just like, I don't know.
The songwriting's good.
But then he started pointing out all the harmonies and the song structure, and I was like, I get it. I was like, this is actually really fucking cool. Kind of what we're talking about. Just songwriting in general, I would say. The songs aren't necessarily always sincere, though. That's where it gets me. The lyrics, when the lyrics drop off and they're just talking about it, it's the easiest fucking thing to come up with. I hope you love me, and if you don't, I'm gonna be bummed out, but I'll get through it. It's you gotta do a little more than that. At least come up with metaphors. Like Ed Sheeran, he fucking talks about that, but I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about it, country music, I mean, the whole stereotype and joke from the 90s still exists today. What do you get when you play a country song in reverse? You get your house back, you get your car back, you get your dog back, you get your wife back. And that still applies today. But at the same time, it's their formula, and that's what works for them. But what I think separates the rock genre from all other genres, with a few exceptions, there are a few exceptions, is you guys write your music, you guys track everything yourself, and there's not 50 producers behind you sitting there saying, hey, let's do it this way, let's do it this way. Even Metallica, it's them and Bob Rock. That's it. And maybe another sound engineer here and there, but they don't have, the record label in there going, nope, we're not, nope. Here, I got this for you guys. You sing this song. They don't have that in our genre, which I thoroughly enjoy. Unless they're like Nickelback or something, because who knows what the fuck those guys do. Fuck Nickelback. If I go one show without making a Nickelback joke, I feel bad about myself.
Like, I forgot something. There's something missing.
My uncle, he one day we were just at a family function or something, and he's like, "Hey man, like I know you're into music, play music and stuff. Like, me and your aunt went and saw Nickelback, and like it was fucking amazing, bro. Like their show, it was so good. I was just like, right on, that's cool. Okay,
We're related.
yeah, we're doing it. Good job."
A buddy of mine who lives in Canada, who has another podcast as well, and him and I collaborate a lot. But he made a joke about how, Canadians are special needs, and they need to have a wheelchair accessible ramp at the border, and for him and for Nickelback and shit like that. And I was like, no, fuck that. You guys need to have a stair steps because you need to keep Nickelback in. So that's yeah. But if I got an email from Roadrunner Records tomorrow stating, hey, Chad's heard a lot of you shit talking, he wants to come on the show, I'd be like, yes sir, Roadrunner Records, I will bring him on. We're doing it.
Yeah, all of a sudden you do an interview with him and he's just like the most sincere, like heartfelt person. You're like, oh shit, okay.
Oh, I have a feeling that he would be completely awesome and genuinely honest about, hey, we have a formula to our songs. We know exactly what works. We know our demographic is 40-year-old divorced soccer moms, and you know what? We're gonna stick to it. No shame in that at all. And I'll be like, oh man, now I feel like shit.
Well, I think because no one blames him for that. It's just an easy joke, and I don't even remember when did Nickelback become the butt of jokes? Just all of a sudden it was there and it was obvious.
I think it was after the first Spider-Man back in like 2003, 2004, when they did that collaboration with Josie Scott. That song Hero, remember that? And they say that a hero can save us.
Oh,
not
yeah,
him.
Yeah.
I think that was it because they sold out to Sony. And then, look at this photograph, that kind of shit right there. I think that's when it all went downhill for him.
Because I think I was in like 6th or 7th grade when the "This Is How You Remind Me" song came out. And I remember it was the first time it was in a Revolver guitar mag, and I tried to play the bar chord. It was the first time I ever tried to not play power chords in a full bar chord. And I was like, these dudes are doing some weird shit. I don't fucking like it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep playing Green Day, I think.
Yeah, I mean, other than the first album, which I actually did like, because there was a song, This Is How You Remind Me, and a couple other ones, but then there was also a song about domestic violence on it, which was a good song. But then after that, like, the only song that I enjoyed by them was that song, Animals, where they're talking about having sex in a car while they're shifting gears and everything, that's, if you ever listen to it, you're like, oh my God, there's so many sexual innuendos in this song. And that's cool. I give them a bunch of credit for that. But other than that, fuck Nickelback.
I think totally. It's the insincerity of kind of goes back to what we were saying in the lyrics. Something can be super pop and super perfectly written and sounding, but if the lyrics are just not there and I can't relate on any plane, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Can't do it.
Exactly. However, if anyone from Roadrunner Records is listening, I will be more than happy to interview Nickelback. I will sell out in a heart. I will pay you to have Nickelback on.
I will watch and share the shit out of that too. So cheers to that. Dude. That would be great.
Because I wouldn't change the format of the interview. I'd still be fucking with him just like I'm fucking with you guys. I don't give a shit.
And like going back to your messages about mental health and stuff. I think Chad is his name.
Yeah.
Right? If he said anything and it got to fucking 10,000 people that might help them, like, more power to you.
Oh, absolutely.
On your podcast, that would be great. So.
Exactly. You know, I and to be totally honest with you, you know, all joking aside, I will never say no to a guest. No matter how small or big, no matter how much of a dick I think this person is, I will never ever say no because of the mental health stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone has a story to tell. You know, like right now, to be totally honest with you, even though I cannot stand him and I think he's a complete prick, my main get that I want to have on this show is Kanye.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
Because I know he's been dealing with bipolar a lot lately.
Sure.
You know, he's had some issues going on. There's been a lot of controversy surrounding him, but you know what? I want to hear his story from a raw, non-PR edited conversation. He is like my number one right now.
That would be amazing. Just see really, yeah, like you said, not scripted, just what's going on, like, for real.
And he wasn't this, like, hyper self-absorbed person right out the gate, too. Like, there was kind of a flip after his first album was insane. And then, like, he obviously skyrocketed after that. And then there was kind of that, like, switch of, like, whoa, Kanye's crazy, man. What happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure which came first, the Taylor Swift incident or when he went on the radio and said that he's the new Beatles.
Oh, yeah. So there's been a couple of things, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure which came first, but either way, those two things kind of set him on the path where he's at today. But you know what? I mean, I got to give him credit. He is a musical genius. I do not like his music at all, but he has a lot of cred. He's very smart. He helps his boy Jay-Z all the time and helps Beyonce and does all this stuff. You know, he's done his due diligence. He's whatever else. But like I said, aside from everything else, just because of the bipolar stuff and his story, I want to talk to that man.
Yeah, right.
And I think it would be a killer fucking episode.
Mm-hmm. It would. Totally.
But like I said, yeah, I'll never, ever say no to anybody. Just because, again, everyone has a story to tell. And the more stories we tell on this show, the better off I am. And, this show is only 9 months old. No. 10 months old. And I've hit 1 million downloads a month. I'm obviously doing something right. So, I take a lot of pride in that, and I want to continue to spread that message more and more every day.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I hit 1 million downloads for the month of September last week.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I think it's because I've known about your show for 5 days now, 4 or 5 days, and we're on it right now, and I feel you're more sincere. You want to talk about real shit. Kind of like you're saying, you're unscripted. You don't want to talk about like the stuff that people are supposed to talk about.
Yeah. There's only one thing that I would change. Is I need to find somebody that is willing to be my camera operator, because for the last 2 or 3 days, my cameras looked like absolute shit. It's going in and out. I'm not sure if it's an autofocus issue or no. Actually, it's an autofocus issue because I can look at TV right now because the green screen, the Manscaped, and the BetterHelp isn't clear. It's me. So I need a camera operator if anyone's willing to. Because my $1,500 Canon does not have autofocus, which surprises the shit out of me. So whatever. It has good days and it has bad days. But I refuse to use my my $100 webcam anymore. So, and besides, even all my downloads come from Spotify and Apple and Stitcher and iHeart. We've got 5 people watching us live right now, and I'll maybe have 50 to 100 over the next 5 days on YouTube. So it's like, yeah, my YouTube numbers are but it's my downloads that I care about. So if I have bad camera views, it's all right. Whatever.
That's been the majority of podcasts that we're on or that I'm even interested in, I think the YouTube views are normally much lower.
They are.
It's the listening aspect people really.
Yeah, now unless you're like Rogan, because Rogan does other things inside the studio. He has videos playing in the background. He smokes joints. He smokes cigars. He does this and that. So there's a reason to watch. The same thing with there's another comedian that does it too, and the famous ones give you reasons to watch their YouTube stream. I don't give you a reason because the exact same thing that I'm doing right now, when we're done, I'm gonna download it, upload it to to Anchor, and then it's gonna go everywhere, and then it's the exact same thing. There's no difference. However, in a year from now, that won't be the case. But that's a year from now.
Yeah.
Because I have huge plans.
Okay.
Really?
Hell yeah.
But when you're able to go out and perform, are you going to stick with the podcast?
So
that much?
What I'm eventually gonna do is I'm gonna do 2 things. So the first step of the evolution of this show is going to be either with my brewery or another brewery. I want to start doing a Tonight Show style show.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But imagine Howard Stern or Joe Rogan doing the Tonight Show on HBO. The exact same format we have now, not scripted, fuck bombs, drinking beer, the whole 9 yards, exactly the same way, just Tonight Show style, where we have a live band every night. I have my own, in-band studio. I'm going to bring in artists, I'm going to bring in comedians, I'm going to bring in guests, do all that kind of stuff. Then eventually, once I garner a bigger audience outside the million, what I want to start doing is traveling to breweries and go to where the artists are and try to get bigger artists. So like if somebody lives in Sacramento, I'm going to go out to Sacramento, arrange it, do like a comedy show type thing there. So there's 2-step evolution process.
But yeah, that'd be so fun.
And it's something that nobody else is doing aside, doing it, or at least doing it that way. And that's the plan over the next 2 years.
Dope.
And yeah, hopefully, eventually Netflix or Amazon pick it up, or, maybe HBO, who knows.
Yeah.
But if they don't, I don't give a shit. I'm going to continue to do it my way and my way only.
Hell yeah. That's where we're at in general.
Yeah.
Also,
because at the end of the day, when I start doing that, when I start doing the traveling piece of it, I want to go to places like Portland and have you guys on. I don't, if I have the opportunity to have like the Foo Fighters or something like that on, I'm going to take it. But I want to support local acts, indie acts that have the potential to make it big. And that's what I've been really supporting lately, especially with Earshot Media. And also before that, I did a lot of local bands here. I want to continue that on just a bigger scale because I started small. You guys are starting small, and I'm going to try to make as many people as I can, bigger than what they are. But at the same time, if not, I'm going to at least give you a showcase to at least build, a platform that's better than what you have now.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
because it's bands like you, it's bands like Boy Blue, it's bands like, you know, Lonely Youth or Messenger Birds, all the ones that are on, you know, on Earshot, and then all the other little independent, you know, PR, you know, music companies that are the lifeblood of this industry. Because without them, without you guys, there would be no Five Finger Death Punch. There would be no Ice Nine Kills. There would be no Metallica. There would be no Avenged Sevenfold, because that's how they started, and somebody, you know, backed them. But nowadays, there's very few people backing them, and I want to try to be that person.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what's up.
For real.
Because, you know what? I love music. I love everything about it. And just because I don't play anymore doesn't mean I don't want to be involved.
Right.
Right.
So, coming to the end here, what is the plan? I know we talked about it, but let's go ahead and talk about it again. You release the album tomorrow. What is the plan from here? How are you going to punch people in the faces and say, hey, this album is here, fucking listen to it?
Yeah, we got at least 1 or 2 more videos coming out probably in the next few months. And we really want to figure out the live streaming thing, because I feel like the next year that's going to be really important. And we have, dude, I have a whole nother fucking record. Like, I've been writing, I have 20 songs. So maybe even start fucking around with that in 6 months, and maybe doing some streaming on like sites like Twitch, you know, just showing people the process of me sitting there writing lyrics and what happens, you know, playing the same chords for 25 minutes, trying to figure out one lyric. You know?
All right, so let me be the first to say this. Back in June, July, and August, I hosted on my channel, and these actually got the most views on my channel, and were actually the biggest downloads on my podcast itself. Was I hosted 20 different local bands live streams and gave them a national outlet, and some of them got 50, 60, 70,000 downloads. So I will be the first to offer you the opportunity to come back on, and I will host your live stream on a platform that has a pretty damn good download and listener base to give you something, you know, at least, you know, something like that to do.
Fuck yeah, we would love to do something like that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing, man.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, I would love to do it for you guys. I would open my channel up to you and just let you have at it. You guys could go for 2 hours for all I give a shit, and I will upload it to my podcast site. And like I said, there was one band, was the band, another band out of Maryland. Band was named Eben Nova. Kind of a folky, rocky, poppy sound, but just really, really good stuff. And their episode peaked at 65,000 downloads. About 400 views on YouTube, but 65,000 downloads.
Yeah.
And when I told them that, they were just ecstatic.
Yeah.
So
That's
I would be more than happy to do something like that for you guys. I would absolutely love it.
Fuck yeah, we would definitely be interested and fucking totally appreciate that, man. That's fucking dope.
Yeah, that's killer.
Yeah, because I mean, I would love, because I was actually gonna talk to Mike and work out something to where I do another string of streams again, for the, you know, for the whole media package, and whoever wants to do it, I'm down. And I've talked to other guys about it too, but I'm putting it out there now on the show now that I would love to be able to host your live stream, and you know, we'll run your PayPal and we'll run your Venmo and all that other stuff. So if people want to tip you, whatever else the case might be,
Yeah.
I'm all about it, bro.
Man,
yeah.
yeah, that would be fucking amazing. Especially without touring and everything. Like, dude, that would be phenomenal.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
Well,
appreciate that.
just hit me up on Instagram. We can definitely talk more about it, and kind of go from there. And like I said, I'm gonna talk to Mike and get a bunch of the other guys involved as well. And I would just love to do a whole month of nothing but, you know, live music streams. showing off how good Earshot Media bands are.
That'd be rad, bro. That's such a fun idea.
Yeah.
But guys, I love the new record. You know, I heard the secret link, you know.
Yeah, you got it.
I did. That is the one thing I love about this job, is that PR email that, you know, saying, hey, you know, for review purposes only, do not share with the public. Here is your private stream, and I get to listen to it before anybody else, and I just get to go, yes. But and that's exactly what I said the entire way through your album. I was just like, fuck, this is good shit. So I'm probably gonna do a special YouTube video just on the album after it's released tomorrow on Saturday. So be on the lookout for that, because I want to do that for you guys as well.
Dude,
So yeah, I'll do a review episode. I don't do those very often, but for the albums that I really, really fucking dig, I do. So I'll be doing that for you guys on Saturday. But yeah, just hit me up, and we will definitely talk more about a potential live stream, and I'll get with Mike, and we'll see if we can set up a whole fucking Earshot Media month.
yeah, man. That'd be great.
Yep. But you guys take care. Dude, I wish you guys nothing but the best with this new album. Guys, all the links are in the description of the podcast and the video. Please check them out. Old Cross is just fucking amazing. Check them out on all their different social medias, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And obviously check them out on Spotify and everywhere else like that. Tonight at midnight, it'll be live. Stream it, because it's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. Well, again, I appreciate you guys. You guys take care. Stay wet and stay dry and stay warm up in Portland. And we'll talk again soon.
Thank you so much, brother.
No problem, man. Have a good one now.
Yeah, cheers, man.
All right, guys. So that is the end of the week. What a great fucking week. Messenger Birds, Lonely Youth, Old Cross. Just good fucking music, good fucking bands, good fucking people. All right. So, we'll be back on Monday. First at noon with a new episode of the Mental Health Hour with Kat. Then Monday night at 8 o'clock starts a whole new week of Suck It. Come back for all the fucking fun, all the music, and all the excitement that I have to bring on a daily basis. But until Monday, you guys take care. I love you. Stay healthy. Stay happy. And as always, stay fucking heavy. We'll see you Monday. Peace.